where the moon and water meet, somewhere close to harmony. When the world is sound asleep, something's gonna bring the change. Journeys we are meant to take, something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views.
We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views.
Come and fly away, come and fly away, come and fly away with me. Come and fly away, come and fly away, come and fly away with me. Something's gonna bring the change. Journeys we are meant to take, something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Through the wind and fire, run when you're beating tired. Just when you're feeling low, here comes a hero. You know what you waiting for. They're knocking at your door. Stand up, it's deep in your veins. Stronger, you'll show them the way. They can make you a hero, a hero. Just believe when they say. You are a lion, you are a fire. Top of the mountain, you are defiant. Through the day, through the night, you will wake up and never let you give in till you reach the end. No, 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 no. Lion, you are defiant, you are a fighter. Don't you know you're the light that lifts us up? Never giving, never done. Second to none, second to none. When you're feeling low, take my hand and then we'll go. No one can stop us now. No one can bring you down. They can make you a hero.
This is the time. The time when dreams come true and legends are born.
Oh my word!
This is the place.
Some seriously spicy stuff. An absolute masterclass!
The place where teams from across the globe come to battle it out for their shot at glory.
Oh, you're kidding!
And a piece of up to $2 million in prizing.
No pressure, guys. No pressure.
This is the feeling.
It's beautiful!
The once-in-a-lifetime feeling of lifting the trophy at the Brawl Stars World Finals.
Here comes the push. Here's the damage. Ooh. This is now the crunch time.
This is the game.
Immediately taken down.
Still not going to fall. He refuses to die.
The game you love. This is the Brawl Stars Championship. Let's get ready to brawl.
This is the place where it's all going to happen, boys. That's right, everybody. Welcome back to the Brawl Stars Championship, powered by the Snapdragon Pro Series. It is time for your last set of monthly finals. That's right, we are at our 5th and final set of monthly finals now here in July. We're kicking it off with APAC. And gents, the memo went out, you all responded, the beacons of Gondor were lit, and you're all looking mighty fine today, can I just say. Sheesh!
Not too bad yourself, sir. I kind of mess with it. You know, we all learned how to tie a bow tie today. It's been a good day.
I'm gonna have to ask y'all to both go change though, because y'all have completely stolen my outfit.
Yeah.
Well,
What is it?
Better.
We were twinning, and now we're even more. I mean, you look like you definitely own a candy shop, Freddie.
You know what?
I don't know.
It is giving. Well, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, it's so small though, just like your Sunnies. It's tiny.
Go back to this.
Okay. Anyway, we are dressed like this, of course, as a nod to Classic Brawl. Of course, that's the thing for this month. And this is a throwback to 5 years ago, back in 2019, at the Grand Finals. Have a look at that. Lex and Kairos. This is for you guys. And you know what? You better like it because it is freaking hot in this outfit. I am absolutely balling. But again, this is a nod, of course, to this season's Classic Brawl. And we are giving you some classic matchups here in a region that never fails to impress, guys. I mean, we're very excited for what we have coming in this monthly final, but I also want to talk about what's happening in September. So obviously we're going to go after LCQ next month to find out who's going to be going to Worlds. And then after, we're not done. That's right. Even before Worlds, we will have our September spectacle. That's right. September 28th and 29th. It's going to be an invitational that will feature our partnered orgs and the top placing teams in those regions. So Na'Vi being the partnered org in this region, you can expect to see Crazy Raccoon, maybe Rival, other teams like that joining them, featuring never before seen 5v5 gameplay. Now, you ask, they're 3-player teams? Yes, but it's going to be 5v5. You figure out how that's going to work. We're going to have modifiers and bounties as well to make it even more epic. So it's going to be a ton of fun. It's definitely going to have that show match vibe. There is some great prize money on the line for the players, and also a great chance for you at home to get involved, of course, over at event.brawlstars.com. That's what we'll be watching. And so that's going to be fun. The game modes are going to be a little bit different. If you've had a chance to play 5v5 and Brawl, it's a ton of fun, albeit a little bit chaotic. It's going to push us, I think, with the casting to the next level. So looking forward to that one. But let's get down to business, Kenny, because here in the APAC region now, this is the last chance to accrue circuit points in our 8-team single elimination bracket of best of 5 matches, quarterfinals all the way through to grand finals. There's a lot on the line this time around, with a couple teams still vying for a spot on LCQ.
Several teams can go for it. We've got 3 with a chance to have a postseason, and unfortunately, one of them's just not going to make the cut. There's only so many spots in this region to give away, and even partnered orgs like Na'Vi, fan favorites for a long time, have the longest odds to kind of make it here, and a lot of that due to last month's performances. You guys were on the mic for this one. I got a nice vacation for you guys. I mean, I unfortunately wasn't with you guys for a month, but it was a wild month. I mean, we missed a good one, and it kind of sets us up for a banger to end off the season, Ready?
It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this was remarkable. So we saw FA Nidug take down Coco Loco to start off the day. We saw them then go up against Na'Vi. This one went all the way till the 5th and final set. This was a very close set. A lot of people rooting for Na'Vi this time. Unfortunately, they did not manage to bring it home. And it leaves us in a bit of a peculiar situation today where they actually can lock in LCQ, but it's going to take a very difficult scenario.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of those clinching scenarios in a second. We had some really wild predictions. I think I thought Nidug would beat Na'Vi, and then I think Ready Set you said the Rival would beat Crazy Raccoon or something like that. There was a bunch of these sort of out there preds that we ended up getting right. So here's the leaderboard as it stands. Now, it's important for people at home to understand that Crazy Raccoon and Rival Esports are locked. Numerically, they are locked for World Finals. That's obviously, you know, on the basis of their circuit points and obviously the points they got through the monthly qualifiers. But for Angelic, Coco Loco and Na'Vi, 3 teams, like Kenny said, are vying for those 2 spots. Na'Vi, though, kind of have to win out, Kenny. I think that's what you sort of mentioned. They basically have to go all the way today and hope that Angelic and Coco Loco stumble.
Yeah, there's several scenarios, of course, but they clinch LCQ by winning the grand finals. And if you're a team like Na'Vi, it's been a rocky season, but one thing is for sure, you're going to come into today and just try and win every single match. This is what it all comes down to, right? Because of some of the stumbling they've had throughout the year, they're a little bit behind. I mean, even less than 40 points separating them in the 4th place team could be enough to knock them down. It kind of depends on how this bracket plays out a little bit, but one thing is guaranteed. If they win this entire monthly finals, they'll be grabbing one of those LCQ spots.
So as a result, folks at home, we'll be following along with a lot of those consequential matches here on the A stream today. That'll be Na'Vi versus Angelic in that 2nd quarterfinal, and then Crazy Raccoon versus Coco Loco. Because if Coco Loco win there, Well, it definitely puts Na'Vi in a tough spot in terms of trying to make it to LCQ. Over on the B stream, that's going to be Wiggly Spoon. I think Nighttime is over there, providing he was able to get off that plane. It's going to be 3R Gaming versus FA Nidug and Rival Esports versus BMTM. Head over there and check that out, of course. If you're wondering, where's the B stream? Where am I? What is life? Why am I here? Event.brawlstars.com has got the answer to all that and more. That's where you can watch us. It's also where you can make your predictions on the matches and sort of throw your vote behind your team. It's a great way to win. It's also fantastic star drops in game, and also you can jump between the Spoo's stream and watch those games. We are looking at this bracket. We did this last month as well. We did some predicting with our hearts. We did some predicting with our brains. It got pretty messy. I don't know. I probably won, but I'm not sure how that went down. But we're all pretty much on the same page here in these first 4 matches. So that means we think that Nidug is going to be 3R. We think Na'Vi will be Angelic, which is definitely questionable. Crazy Raccoon against Coco Loco is a matchup that Coco Loco beat them in a grand final in the past. And then, ready, set, we feel like we're pretty confident that Rival can take down BMTM.
Yeah, I think that there's, a little bit behind each one of these. Nidug in particular, I think with the acquisition of Ghost T on their roster, managed to do really, really well last month. That was Ghost T's first monthly final ever, and they went all the way to the grand finals. In the case of Na'Vi, we're looking at a pretty weakened, it seems, Angelic, where they had half of their roster swap out last month, and it didn't lend itself to success. Granted, they had a tough round one. Crazy Raccoon are simply Crazy Raccoon, though they are facing Coco Loco, who's done well in previous months. So this is another one where we are predicting with our hearts just a little bit, and I don't think you'd be wrong to predict Rival here, given that they won the last monthly final.
I'm trying to think, have we had a team yet this year win 2 monthly finals?
Nope.
I feel like it was Na'Vi, Crazy Raccoon. No, it's been somewhat different every month. That is kind of wild, right? Na'Vi have to be the only team to win multiple monthly finals to actually qualify for LCQ. That is wild. This region, Kenny, is bringing the heat. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest note for me coming into this month. I feel like a lot of people look at this region, and I find myself every month saying, it's Crazy Raccoon. Of course they're going to win. They haven't won in 3 months. It's been a long time, a drought by their standards, which is crazy because Tensai's probably got close to 20, if not 20 monthly finals over his course of career. These are Hall of Fame kinds of players, but this region this year has been so chaotic, so much turmoil. So I think that the assumptions that we maybe had from past years don't necessarily apply. I kind of want to see Crazy Raccoon put a little fear of God in the opponents a little bit, kind of remind the world of why they deserve to have the names that they have, because it has been a while.
Yeah, I think, again, now that they're secured for a World Finals berth, it's about time to start, getting out there on the airways, maybe a little cheeky propaganda, being like, hey, watch out, we're coming for you. And definitely to make a statement here in this last monthly final will be a great way to do it. Kenny, we'll catch up with you after this game, but for now, it's going to be time to jump into Na'Vi versus Angelic. The big storyline, of course, is that Na'Vi has to go all the way. And that is a big ask, considering that they've struggled to really, make a deep penetration, I think, through these monthly finals up until this point. Angelic has never won a monthly final, but they were in a grand final, and then they made it to the semis in May. Their opponent, definitely a roster that's been in and amongst it. But Na'Vi, again, really streaky, ready set, I think is fair to say.
So last month here, they faced Gohan Omoshiroi, and then again in the qualifiers, they had to face Gohan Omoshiroi and through the upper bracket. So you talk about them making these deep runs just to get to the stage where we see them right now.
And again, they almost reverse swept FA Nidug. It was, it was definitely one of those games that, we really didn't know what was going on. It was very, very close. That's, though, where they fell out of the picture last month. And Na'Vi only getting 50 circuit points from June, none from May. It lies within their own hands, but they're going up against a team who, like you mentioned, were strong. This Angelic roster were pretty fearsome when they first came onto the scene, but things have changed a little bit with this roster.
Yeah, we've seen Mizzy and Soda depart. Now with Geki and Sago, we'll not be seeing any more watermelon on camera with the departure of Soda. What a legend!
Oh, I think that's banned though. Yeah, someone told me we're not allowed to show them eating. So
no food.
Shame though, because I was quite enjoying that.
I mean, it's having a refreshing snack on stream. Unfortunately, they didn't take the win in that match either. But with that roster shakeup, hasn't lent itself to success. Control their own destiny. They just have to win the whole darn thing. Angelic can't afford to go down here. Obviously, not a desirable outcome. but they're currently in the lead between these three teams that are competing for 2 LCQ spots. So provided that Navi don't make it too far, even if they fall here, they can still lock LCQ.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, Coco Loco are ahead, or Angelic, excuse me, are ahead of Navi by about 41 points. So, yeah, they lose here, and if Navi lose in the next round, then they'll actually be okay. So it's kind of nice to have a little bit of a buffer. We're talking about an Angelic team that, yeah, never won a monthly final, but were always good for basically at least a semi-final showing. They were very much a factor. It's really missing a monthly final that hurts more than anything else, but you know, Angelic have always been here. So Navi have to make a example of this team here. They have to walk up and absolutely smack them down, because again, the rest of their bracket, you know, we'll see them on a collision course with some terrifying teams going into that next round. So they're going to have to be ready for that. And of course, they need to be able to win out. So they are going to have to take down the likes of, you know, Nidug potentially if they win this game. And then in that grand final, they're dealing with, you know, Coco Loco, Crazy Raccoon, and Rival all in that same side of the bracket. So no real easy games here for Navi whatsoever. A win here would put them up against a team that knocked them out last month. So they have to be better than we have ever seen them. And that's to even have a chance of competing at LCQ. And there's a bit of a storyline here because quite a few of these Navi players were on that reject roster, right, that played at LCQ that I think ultimately were knocked out by an STMN who were just hungrier to make it to Worlds. And that team went all the way to the grand final match itself there. So there's a lot of rivalries to be renewed, I think, as we head towards LCQ, because there's a few of those top NA teams that are going to have to be fighting at that tournament ready set for a chance to be at Worlds too.
How unfortunate would it be? Of course, North America is going to be taking on a place later on this week, and if they have a rematch against Stamina, would be quite unlucky. But a chance at redemption for sure. They'll still have to make it to the stage with a win over Angelic, which, in my sort of critical opinion, has appeared weaker in the last couple of months than we'd seen them. Now this is just awesome. This is like watching the shark fin stick out of the water in Jaws.
It is, yeah. Levy having a bit of fun with us here, but while we're waiting on, I think, one more player just here in the lobby, a slight technical issue. But to reiterate to you folks, there are 3 teams right now who are looking for LCQ spots. They are Angelic, Coco Loco, and Navi. For Angelic, they need to make the semi-finals, or Navi just needs to not make the grand finals, or Coco Loco needs to lose in the quarterfinals, right? These 3 teams are really intertwined. For Navi, obviously, they have to win the grand final or make it into that game, and Coco Loco need to lose their match here in these quarters, which is possible, right? They're going up against Crazy Raccoon. So we are going to have a much clearer picture of what the qualifying situation looks like for the Asia Pacific region after those first 4 games. After win this game, if they don't win this game, forget about it. It is going to be Angelic and Coco Loco that will advance. We'll have our top 4 locked in. And again, despite Rival and Crazy Raccoon having taken those top 2 spots, we have never seen a team win back-to-back monthly finals. This region is like frothy, right? It's far from set in stone. It's not very stable either. So we also want to see how both those teams perform today in the run-up here to the finals.
It's all over the place, seriously. There seems to be no consistency in APAC, but it's not for a lack of trying, of course. It's simply that the competition is that close between our top 5 teams competing for 4 spots. It's been huge watching these people compete over the course of the year as things now are closing in towards the end. We're getting into Hideout for a bit of bounty. Our first set here between Navi and Angelic.
And now we can actually talk about the game Brawl Stars, because we've spent so much of this show already just talking about qualifying scenarios and, you know, how teams are going to make it there. But
for our home team, you need to get in close range in order to actually make use of Chester. Where he's going to have the most value is against a brawler that wants to get in close range, obviously. That is where he is effective. So a tank or something of the like. Mandy first selection, this brawler is immensely popular right now. And honestly, no complaints here. You do a ton of damage with the super, and it goes across the entire map. It just takes good teamwork and good spotting, some predictions also, to see where your enemies are going to be. There's some good brawlers that you can pair it with. some that counter it. I don't see a nanny ban, so that's completely on the table. If Navi
Who opts for Pipe instead, where, you know, Nani is probably much more of a harder counter to that Mandy. Mandy powerful. I mean, the fact that she has a slow, like, on her gadget is extremely good for self-defense and also securing those eliminations, especially with that Sugar Rush. So Levi going with an RT. So again, makes sort of sense as these rounds start to tick down. You have a defensive option. Someone who's also pretty effective at long range. And yeah, we were starting to see a little bit more of this last month. Ready, set. Pearl, a brawler that really excels in the rounds, like to run long.
Yes, and also just has good survivability. I think maybe that's where you're going with that. Because she has the shield. She charges up heat in her oven. She gets the shield. It's immense damage reduction. She already has good health as it stands. And then on top of that, as that heat builds up, she gets star instantly. So now Navi are going to have to think about how they're actually going to play this one aggro. I see Angelic with what can be a very powerful defensive comp. Now, I don't know where Carl is going to factor into the defense aspect. He will be good against a thrower last pick, which I could see the other two members of Angelic's roster being quite susceptible to.
Yeah, Navi maybe having the option to pick that up last here, and the Carl will give them pause for thought. Carl's just so very good. Crossing that gap and getting on top of one of those last pick throwers to kind of punish it in general, but Larry and Laurie is still going to be the lock-in here for Navi. Definitely one of the go-to throwers here after receiving millions of nerfs. It feels like still a very powerful option here, and you know, on Bounty, definitely not an uncommon pick either.
I worry a little bit for the Pearl here, considering that she is outranged by every single member of Navi's composition. So she's going to have to juke and weave pretty much the entire time. Maybe punishing some over-aggression. I could totally see it happening, perhaps for a Choppy over here on the Larry if he decides that he needs to play a lane without the benefit of having a wall. We'll see Sago immediately grab this blue star, and now it's time for some defense. They can't fall back too quickly. Ideally, they would keep the sort of effective line of scrimmage here at mid and not have to go all the way back to their spawn. No contact there from Kanga with the gadget on the left. But he'll be using this wide open area on the left side to try and get some damage and be able to shoot through walls against a low health Suzuku, who does grab the in favor of Navi.
So we're going to be looking definitely at that Pearl here as one of the more exploitable elements of Angelic's composition, and Suzuku kind of already demonstrating that early on. Saw a gadget use there from Kanga to try and set something up. There was no connection earlier on, and Sago will be under some degree of pressure here. Navi have enough map control where they don't have to be too worried about this Carl just walking up on their Larry and Laurie, and this time is going to be the Mandy falling down, so a lot of pressure here.
See Navi go further into the lead, takedown of that Laurie clone on the left side. Looks like Navi are falling back. They're opting to play more defensively now. They still don't have that blue star. Sago has stayed alive with it since the beginning of the match and even grabbed a kill in the process of pushing up here. Here comes the Sugar Ray, down nothing. Suzuku took to the skies anyway just to play it safe. He's gonna need that back if he wants to defend versus Sago though.
Yeah, getting the blue star on Angelic means that any elimination puts them into the lead, essentially. They go under some pressure, pop the gadget. Levi not bothered at all. Sago into the tailspin here, but yeah, Chappy keeps a respectful distance away from that one. Angelic really struggling here to pretty much no options left.
Just 10 seconds on the board, and